Om oṅkāra-vide namaḥ. Oṅkāra-vide namaḥ. Oṅkāra-vit. Oṅkāra-vit means oṅkāra, Om. The one sacred syllable, Om. Everybody says Om. Oh, Swamiji, Om. I heard my grandfather, my uncles, dads, everybody chanting Om after lunch. Some weekends, we see after lunch and dinner, they chant Om very regularly, Swamiji. After lunch and dinner? Yes, Swamiji, I heard them. After lunch, they chant Om. That is not Om, it is belching. Don't misunderstand that. Your parents chanting Om is a wonder of wonders. That's a belching. Sign of good food. Isn't it? To make the host happy, they belch. Indians, that's the Indian style. Here it says, no, we should not belch. It's very, what they say? Very, they don't say rude, but they say it's very impolite. But they blow the nose, that's so loudly they blow the nose. That is not impolite. That's not impolite, no? So each one, the background. No, I understand why they blow, because once they sneeze, like 21 gunfire will continue if you don't blow. They have to blow the nose so that all things that are blocking and will come out. There's a logic. Belching also is a great logic. Total satisfaction. Host in India, the host feels happy if you belch. How do you? What is that? Even those who have not yet become mothers, they know. When I, who can never become a father, knows, so what about them? You didn't think. They want the child to burp. When the child burps, it's impolite. What do you do? Anyway, I'm coming back to Om. Now I'm going to burp and all. Om. So, Om is one syllable sound. What is Om? We know it, at the same time we don't know. That's a mystery. You're all alive. Anybody doubts? Are you alive? Have you at least a doubt, am I alive? Did you doubt any day, having woken up, am I alive? Or did you check anybody, am I alive? Did you? Never. We know we are alive. But what is life? You are alive. But what is life if you start thinking? No, Swamiji, life, tragedy. Life is a tragedy, Swamiji. For whom? Because the experiences are tragic. Therefore you say life is not tragedy. Life's experiences may be tragedy. I'm not asking your life's experiences. I'm asking that life because of which you're able to experience tragedy or even comedy also. Ask a Gujarati, how is life? Oh, Swamiji, life, majama. Especially with pajama and all, majama. Majama, why? Life. I'm not asking life's majama experiences. I'm asking life. You know you're alive, but what is life is mystery. Unknown. And in science and mathematics, the unknown is always indicated by a sound symbol, X or Y or Z or alpha, beta, gamma, theta, theta, party and all. So, unknown is indicated by a symbol. In mathematics, 20 children in the classrooms. The teacher says the children, there are 20 children in the classroom. And each child is given 5 mangoes. And teacher takes 10 mangoes. And all the mangoes in the basket exhausted. Now the question, how many mangoes were there in the basket before distribution? How many? You're also like the first grade children? These are first grade children. What do you think? Answer. How much? There are 20 children in the classroom. Each child is given 5 mangoes and teacher takes 10 mangoes. All the mangoes in the basket are exhausted. How many mangoes were there in the basket before distribution? Appa, I'm satisfied, not bad. I thought 216, what happened to the mathematics, all the Asians? Genius in maths. But you didn't hear it properly. First time you didn't. Math is very, very important. I don't like math, but this kind of maths I like. Always try to do this simple math. Number 2 means to get and to give. Creates a lot of problems, isn't it? To get and to give. To get and to give creates lots of problems. What should you do? New Year started, no? So to get and to give is very difficult, creates a lot of problems. What should you do? Double it. Double it means forgive, forget. Simple math. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, forget and forgive is very difficult. Swamiji, with my family members, how Swamiji? I said double o double. With the family members, double o double. Isn't it? So, double time. Forgive, forget. Forgive, forget. Because they are family members. They think they have a right to torture you. So, math. So these are grade 1 children. When you ask them to 20 children, 5 mangoes, and each one was given 5 mangoes, and the teacher took 10 mangoes. The children are looking, where is the mango basket? And where are the 5 that are given to me? And the most pertinent question is, why teacher took 10? These are the questions boggling the minds of the children. And teacher says, don't worry, Hakuna Matata. I will explain to you. And the teacher writes on the board, let the number of mangoes in the basket before distribution be X. And smart kid, Miss, yes? Miss, how much is X? Because a small first grader asking, the teacher also feels, sweetheart, that is what we have to find out. That's what teacher will say. You ask me like that, idiot, that is what we have to calculate. But the teachers are so compassionate and all. So they say, that is what you have to. So X is equal to 20 times 5 plus 10. Then again, X is equal to 20 times 5, 200 plus. So not bad, you are listening. So 20 times 500 plus 10. Then X is equal to 110. When you arrive at 110, you don't need that X. X becomes redundant. So today, we all know I'm alive. But I don't know what is life. So the teacher says, let that life, the enlivening principle, the one life in all life forms, let that one life be indicated as Om. And don't ask, oh, Swamiji, what is Om? As one child asked, what is X? That is what we have to discover through Shravana, Swadhyaya, Manana, Nididhyasana. We have to discover. And when we discover it, then, you can belch. That is a satisfaction. That will be a silent belch, not a loud belch. Nobody will know. Total satisfaction. So that is what we have to discover. And he is the knower of that Om, oṅkāra-vide, knower of Om, the knower of the divine life. He is life itself, enlivening our BMI, enlivening all our experiences in all the 3 states. What are the 3 states? Wyoming, Delaware, Dakota South. Wyoming, waking. Delaware. Oh, Swami, Delaware is dream state? I'm just giving you the W, D and DS. Not another. Don't think that Delaware is a dream state. And then Dakota South, deep. So every day you're shuttling in these 3 states, isn't it? So Chinmaya is the consciousness. So you're conscious of waking state. You're conscious of dream state. You're conscious of deep sleep state. Aren't you? You're conscious of waking state? I hope you are now. Check your neighbor also. Tap and see. And if he looks, then he's. If you tap and then the person not even looking, shake a little. Yes. Waking state bata rahe hain. He's telling about waking state. So you're conscious of waking. Conscious of dream. Did you have a nice dream yesterday? No, Swamiji, nightmare. I woke up Bala Vihar class. Then nightmare. So conscious of dream. Conscious of deep sleep also. Are you conscious of deep sleep? Last year I explained. Last year I explained, Swamiji? Yes. Last year means what? Just 2 weeks ago. Are you conscious of your deep sleep state? All heads are going all around. Which way, what am I to appreciate? I don't know. See, what is happening is, when the mind wakes up, we think, I wake up. That is the tragedy, because the moment the mind wakes up, I fall into my mind. And I say, I woke up. And then when you, after mind waking up, you feel, I woke up, and then always drowsy. I am drowsy. And I want to sleep some more time. Especially now, winter time. You don't even want to put hand out of the quilt to see the time or your iPhone. So you cover completely, and then inside that, because the light, it has the light and all you. But that is the time if you tell, oh, my mind woke up. Oh, my mind is drowsy. I don't know why my mind is drowsy. We are already objectifying your mind. I tell you, the mind will be becoming because somebody is watching the mind. If you don't watch the mind, it can give you all sorts. See, more and more you pamper your child. Little it fell down. The child fell down. The child will cry much more loudly because more attention he wants. Whenever a child about 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 7 years falls down, intelligent parents look other side. And the child falls and sits and then looks, anybody saw me? Especially parents. Parents are, nobody saw me. So he gets up and runs about. You see, and you run towards the child. He'll ragam, talam, pallavi and all, he'll start. Isn't it? Attention. So to our mind starts demanding attention. So the moment you wake up, a thought comes. What? Oh, mind woke up. Still it's a play of mind only. But it's a very different play. Oh, mind woke up. And then you start, don't talk loudly, okay? Talk to your own, silently talk. How are you? To your own mind. Is it a little drowsy you feel? Maybe you did not sleep well yesterday night. That's why I keep telling you, do japa. Do japa. You can sleep well. You'll get good sleep. Like that, start talking. The mind will be vibrant very soon. You don't need coffee. You don't need anything to wake it up. You try. So, when the mind wakes up, I feel I woke up. I fall into it. And when the mind dreams, oh, I dreamt. I dreamed, Swamiji. And the mind goes to sleep. You say, I had a wonderful sleep, Alaskan sleep. Is it? So we don't realize the 3 states belong to the mind, not to I. But today, I feel I am the mind. Therefore, as soon as you wake up, put a thought. You should say, oh, mind, woke up. Or tell something. This is the best thing you should tell your spouse to remind you. Moment, oh, mind, woke up. उठ गए क्या? Instead of saying that, oh, ending later. Oh, laissez Sarah. Instead of saying like that, oh, mind, woke up. Each spouse can remind each other. Oh, mind, you woke up. And the husband said, never mind. Isn't it? So, with this thought, if we can start our day, means you're already started objectifying the mind. This you can practice only in the waking state. In the dream state, you can't practice. In the deep sleep state, of course, you cannot practice, because the mind is absent. Dream also you cannot practice, because it just happens. So you just throw up in the dream state. The mind throws up all the undigested experiences in the waking state. Whatever the mind could not digest in the waking state, those experiences the mind throws up in the dream state. And don't analyze the dream unless you are a pathologist. Poor pathologists, they have to analyze. You are not a pathologist. It's very pathetic. That too, not the others' dreams also analyzing. Miserable. Whenever you dream, if suppose it was a nightmare, drink a glass of water and say, Appa, thank God, that much of poison came out. And then what else can you do? And then do japa, and then make the mind do the japa. No, I do japa, Swamiji. I do japa regularly. Why waste your time? Make your mind do the japa. That's the best. Means you're totally becoming a sakshi. You are the sakshi. You are witnessing the states of the mind. Mind's waking, mind's a dream, mind's a deep sleep. And there's a fourth state. Because Om has 3 letters. The spelling of Om. A, U, and A is the first letter. U is the middle letter. Is the last letter. A, U, Don't say A, U, is Om. A plus U becomes O. And Om. 3 letters. Akara, Ukara, Makara. The 3 letters become Om, one sacred syllable. Akara represents all the waking state. Ukara represents dream. Makara represents deep sleep. There is a 4th state also. What is the 4th state called? Turiya. Turiya means 4th. If anybody comes 4th, you can point out, Swamiji, Turiya. 4th is called Turiya, number 4. 4th is Turiya. Why 4th? That is called 4th. Why? Because of the 3. Because of waking, dream, deep sleep, 3. Therefore, 4th state. And when we realize the 4th state, all these 3 states merge into the 4th. How to do that? Remember I gave an example last time. You give me a quarter. Mothers give me a quarter. Fathers, I'm still waiting. Fathers give me a quarter. Mothers give me a quarter. The children give me a quarter. How many quarters I have? How many quarters? 3 quarters. My Guru gives me the 4th quarter. How many quarters I have? Do you say 4 quarters? 1. $1. Not $1. 1 whole. So 1 becomes. So when I know the 4th, all the 3 merge into that. That alone is, in fact, that is the substratum upon which all experiences are dancing about. It's like, in the objectively, if you want to watch, is like the silent substratum. The silence. Silence is the substratum upon which the sounds dance. The sound can be audible only in the medium of silence. If there is no silence, you cannot appreciate sound. Like now, there is silence in between my sounds. So every sound, there is a gap of silence. Even while I am speaking, every word is distinguished by a gap of silence. Can you see the gap of silence in between the words? Can you see the gap of silence in between the words? Now can you see the gap of silence in between each word? You can? And you just, you think you can, but can you really see the gap of silence in between each word? Can you? Impossible. So, but suppose if I speak very, very slowly, then you may recognize the gap in between each word. Now, if you say, no, Swamiji, now also I did not see, then just as when I speak very slowly, you can see the gap in between each word. Just as you can see the gap of silence in between each word when I talk slow. So too, when you are conscious of your thoughts and feelings, in between every thought and between every feelings, there is a gap. This is what we have to practice. I kept it for, I didn't tell this last year, isn't it? Did I tell this last year? Huh? I told only about the silence. Huh? I told about silence, but not this. You're conscious of your feelings. You're conscious of your thoughts. In between every feeling, there must be a gap. What gap? Silent feelings, Swamiji. Silent thought. No. You're conscious of feelings. You're conscious of thoughts. In between every thought you're conscious of, there must be. When you're conscious of a thought, in between every thought you're conscious of, there must be consciousness. Pure consciousness, unadulterated by any thought. Is it not? Think. Example I gave, remember last year? Oh yes, Swamiji, last year, how do you remember? What example? What example? In school days and all, the teacher used to threaten us. What did I say last time? And we all look here and there, and we don't know where to look at that time. And you all very... Same as we say in those days, what we did. Remember a platform, railway platform. But Indian railway platform is much more, here I don't remember, I have not been to much metros here. So you can see even the opposite platform. And the pattas also you can see, the rail tracks, 2 rail tracks, and here you're on platform. And suddenly you see on the opposite platform, who? Huh? See that memory. You say, what a memory there. What a memory. Look at the memory. Isn't it? What example I gave, that no. But girlfriend, oh, yaad hai Swamiji. Oh, both yaad hai. See that? Don't think you don't have memory. You have memory. But for kachada, gichada and all, you have very good memory. Moment you saw the girlfriend, and a recent girlfriend, that too, you never even fought even once. Because whatever she said, you say, yeah, yes. So no fights. The moment you saw her, you waved at her. And she also saw you and she also waved. And train comes. Traditional South Indian movies, Tamil movies. Because Tamil movies, they exaggerate like anything. If in a Hindi movie, he throws this much, the child goes only this much. And he catches. Telugu movie, that much he throws. Tamil movie, up to the Chinmaya. They exaggerate, exaggerate. Isn't it? What do you call exaggerate in Tamil? Huh? Isn't it? So, train comes. Now what to do? Now the train is coming. You are in the platform. The train is coming. And then what in between you can see, by the time you could see that compartment, by the time you could see that. Since you are standing in the platform, the train has to slow down. When the train slows down, the gap becomes little bit more clear. When it's more clear, 2 times you can wave. 2 times. And since more slowing down, 3 times. More slows down, 4 times. After the 4th time, the train stops. The compartment, the gap in between 2 compartments is right in front of you. And what do you behold? What do you behold? Your own beloved. Isn't it? In the same way, you're conscious of your train of thoughts. You're conscious of the train of thoughts, meaning you are standing on the platform. You are not in the train of thoughts. If you are in the train of thoughts, who is to look at it? You are looking at the platforms and going in, isn't it? If you are standing on the platform, means you are witnessing. You are conscious of the train of thoughts. When you are conscious of the train of thoughts, it shall slow down. It shall, but not immediately. It has to slow down because you are standing apart from your train of thoughts. If you are in the train of thoughts, it will not slow down. But if you are standing apart, that's why whenever you think, what thought is in my mind? Nothing comes. Then again, you are not conscious, thoughts come. So when you are watching your thoughts, it shall slow down. And then you can see the gaps relatively more clearer than before. And if you are still trying to recognize the gap of consciousness in between each thought, the gap, it slows down much more. And the gap of consciousness in between thoughts become wider, more clearer. To recognize the gap of consciousness in between each thought is contemplation. To recognize the gap of consciousness in between each thought is contemplation. And to dive into it and be as consciousness is meditation. To recognize the gap in between the thoughts is contemplation. To dive and be in that pure consciousness is meditation. This is what dramatized in Bhagavat as the Rasa Leela. Anganam madhye Madhava. Anganam madhye Madhava. Anganam means gopi. In between every gopi is Krishna. Krishna is not dancing. But it appears that Krishna is dancing amidst every gopi. It appears as though the consciousness is dancing amidst every thought. But he is the center. Around him, all the thoughts are dancing. But it appears that consciousness, Krishna is dancing. So, at the seat of meditation, we must have Rasa Leela. Oh, Garbha Swamiji? Garbha also. Garbha also is Rasa Leela, no? Garbha, or what do you call that other one? Dandiya. Dandiya. That also. We used to have, in the course, we were asked to play dandiya also. So we were given to, and we hit only at the hand of the other person. Dandiya. And other person. That is not, better not to play dandiya. So, to recognize the consciousness in between each thought. To recognize the gap of consciousness in between each thought, I have to stand apart. If I am riding the thoughts, if I am in the train of thoughts, where? Who's to recognize? So if I stand apart and watch my thought flow, there has to be a gap of silence, gap of consciousness in between each thought. That's why you start taking a mantra also, because it's very difficult to directly watch the thoughts. Therefore you use Om. 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 See the gap? Every time you're conscious of it, there is a gap. This is a practice. So, shanaihi uparamet. Slowly, slowly try to withdraw from the thoughts to recognize the gap of consciousness in between the thought. Buddhya dhrutigrihita. It's all done by the mind intellect only. So intellect is very alert and vigilant to watch the gap. Atma samstham manakritva, having placed the attention unto the pure consciousness. Na kinchidapi chintayet. Do not entertain any other thought. This is the glorious spiritual practice. So recognize Chinmaya in between each thought. Chinmaya alone is dancing with every thought. Chinmaya is the consciousness. So the play of consciousness. Once you have recognized and you are identified as Chinmaya, then it's a Rasa Leela every time. Good thought or bad thought or indifferent thought, any thought, the same consciousness plays. Then it becomes a Leela, Chinmaya Leela. Om oṅkāra-vide namaḥ.